I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stanley, you want to have a prayer this morning?
Our Heavenly Father, as we come to you this morning, Lord, we're thankful hearts for another day of life. Lord, thankful that you blessed us with all the blessings that we have. Ask this morning, Lord, that you would lead us and guide us in this meeting, that you would bless each one here this morning. Father, that you would just help us to lead our county in the way that you would have it to go. Be with those, Lord, that's lost their loved ones, Lord, that's many sick, and seem like flu and stuff we just can't get rid of it. Lord, be with all of them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Mr. Randy.
Denzel Potter.
Here.
John Brown.
Here.
Stanley Rigsby.
Here.
Brandon Evans.
Here.
Anthony Likens.
Here.
Stanley Franklin.
Here.
All here.
Sound like 100%, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'd like to welcome you to another session of our fiscal court meeting. And I believe we operate better starting out early like this. Don't you, Dennis?
I say too.
Okay, I guess we need to cut loose with the jail budget. You probably got a copy of it. Everybody has.
We just need approval on it. There was not a whole lot changed. The biggest thing that changed was our contracts with other counties. We upped that $115,000. We were conservative on it last year, and this year we're going to be, give it a little more room because we've had some big jail bills and stuff. So I upped that. The only other thing that, changed was the retirement rate and stuff like that changed slightly. And then salary, stuff like that. Other than that, it's pretty well the same. That's really the only notable change.
I don't know whether you're aware of it or not, but the keep of the inmates in the jail, it absorbs a lot of our salary. I mean, a lot of our income that we have. Miles, I guess you could attest to that.
Yeah, I mean, it does. We've arrested more people, about 3 times as many as we usually do. Drugs are kind of coming in Morgan County, unfortunately. I mean, we were off the highways and we got by for many years, but every family is affected. I think one day we arrested like 18 people for meth and heroin dealing. And basically we've arrested a lot since then, and what we found out in those raids. But it's a scourge, and it's here, and if we don't want these meth and heroin dealers, dealing in our community, then unfortunately we got to put them in jail. Now the good thing about it is we, they're going to be in jail for a long time. We're only going to have to foot the bill for the initial little bit until they, get convicted in circuit court. But these people are dealing wide open, and they're dealing wide open right in front of our eyes. And so I think that we have done a lot of good. And as I said, arrests are up like threefold over the past, few years. And so, yeah, it is costly. I think it's $35 a day. It is costly, but to counteract that, there's only one other county, I think, in the whole state that tries to get jail recoupment. We're one of them. So we do try to get that back from the people that can pay, and so I'm kind of proud of that. But yeah, it is very expensive.
Yes, it is. Okay, do we
I
get
have a question. It's concerning. If we have someone that has warrants on them and they get arrested in Fayette County, we go and get them, right? Or do they bring them
I
here?
would say so. Well, we have to go after them. They don't bring them.
Well, if we have someone, we arrest someone here
Or
that's got warrants in Fayette County, do we get the same amount of money when they come?
I don't know, Miles, can you answer?
Jailer, usually it's the jailer, you know, we have to transport. And so if it's a state prisoner, which if they're coming in for something else, then the state brings them. But if they're, you know, a county prisoner, which is misdemeanors and felonies when they're first charged, it's the jailer's responsibility a lot of times to transfer them to and from the jail. But if you transfer them some other place, the sheriff is basically the default transporter on that. You know, different counties have different systems, but that's the system you're supposed to go by, and I think that's the system we use.
Okay, we need a motion on this.
I'll make that motion.
All right.
Second.
Anthony made it, Stanley seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Item number 2 is the emergency management discussion. So, who wants to?
Everybody has a copy of the letter that we received from Kentucky Emergency Management. Basically, they have found us in noncompliance, lack of internal controls, and noncompliance of a federally funded program, and they are stopping all of our reimbursement payments that we have coming. And I think, does that include the portion of your salary? It's everything. Our tornado money, any FEMA projects, anything like that until we correct what is going on. We're supposed to receive a detailed letter of what exactly is going wrong, to what we need to fix, how they want to see it before we will be back in good standing. And this is just something everybody needs to be aware of, and this is where we're at right now. And Irene can probably speak on that a little more. I mean, do you have anything for that really?
All the roads that we inspected, there was only 6 that were completed. Had one, Walter Springs. Nothing was done, it was a big project. And we do need KYEM and FEMA money.
Yeah, we can't not fix this problem. If we were to have another disaster like we had even in 2012, something so detrimental, we're up a creek. You know, we have to do what we need to do to get back in good standing as soon as possible. And things that there will be roads that we will have to go through and deobligate funding on that we haven't fixed, or that we have fixed on our own but not to the scope of work according to FEMA. And what happens when you deobligate funding for a project that you've already turned in and started with FEMA is you will no longer be able to claim that specific site on FEMA ever again once you deobligate. From my understanding, are you under the same impression?
That was what she said that day, but I don't know if she meant that site or just the whole road.
For my understanding, it was the site. That was my understanding.
Because things totally changed today when they were here that day.
Yeah.
Well, if we select not to do what they wanted to do that particular instance, you know, and we do it ourselves, and it's satisfactory, then does that take them out of the picture on that particular item?
That means we have to go back and deobligate. And that
Well,
means
means
if
that-
there is ever a disaster on that site that we corrected ourselves, then we
Okay.
cannot go back to FEMA and
Okay.
say, we need help fixing this now. Because they said, well, you needed help fixing it 2 years ago and you done it yourself and you didn't do it right, according to them. And so they're not going to come back and redo that. And I think a lot of these projects are salvageable, but it's going to be going through everything, the standing, what's been done, and picking and choosing. And
They're going
where
to send us a
proceed.
detailed letter of what they want done then, is that, am I
The
understanding that
detailed
right?
letter will be of why we are in non-compliance and what we have to do to get back in good standing.
Okay.
And then I've contacted ER Assist, and that's number 3 on the agenda. They are who we brought in for the FEMA projects with the tornado. I've talked to them about this, and they are willing to come in and help us correct the situation.
But first we'll have to get a list from them to tell us what we need to do?
They're getting,
before they come
they're
in?
actually getting the list sent to them,
Oh, they
where they're
will?
already working
Okay,
with us.
all right.
We will get it, but they're also gonna get it.
Okay.
And they're going to help us go through the projects. They're actually going to be in Morgan County next week. That's why we had to do a special meeting and get this rolling. We have to sign a
Okay.
contract to allow them to start. They're gonna go through these projects, they're gonna pick through, they're gonna say, you know, this needs to be de-obligated, this can be fixed, they're gonna tell us what we've got to do to get back in good standing. As far as with our internal controls, all the way up to our open projects that we have to complete. They have sent me a contract, and there's a resolution, and it is to allow them to come in, just like they did with the tornado. It is not to exceed 30,000. She did tell me the majority of that will be reimbursed through FEMA once we are in good standing. Anything that we de-obligate, their time that they spent into that, their labor and stuff like that, we can't get that money back. But anything that we correct and complete to FEMA standards, then we can turn this cost in of bringing them in and get that back. She said our cost out of pocket after we get reimbursement would be between $2,000 and $8,000, but the contract will not exceed the 30. So we're gonna have to put the 30 up front, and then we will get the majority of that back.
So how many are we gonna de-obligate?
I have no clue. I have no
Where,
clue.
where do we get this letter from
They're
them?
gonna be in, next week, they're gonna be in town, and they're gonna go look at these sites, they're gonna go through, you know, the PWs, they're gonna see what we've done, see what needed to be done, see what is salvageable and what is not.
This goes all the way back to, just after the tornado?
I think a lot of these were
13.
from flooding in 2015.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need a motion to accept with them.
I need a motion
So moved.
to allow Stanley to sign the contract and allow ER Assist to come in.
Second.
John made it. You say, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next item is the Building Safety Month. Is this, do we have need a
Proclamation.
proclamation?
Yeah, we
Okay.
do this every year. It's
All
just a
right.
proclamation saying that we will recognize the month of May as Building Safety Month.
Okay. Do we need a,
No, we just need
any
to
action on that?
acknowledge it in a minute.
Okay.
So don't need a motion.
I'll put it in the paper.
Okay, Mr. Randy, you got something to say about the excess fees?
I've got I'm supposed to do this by February. It's a check for excess fees, just pass it around to Lindsay or Connie. I just need a motion to accept it as presented, and would like if you all allowed me last year to turn in some invoices, mostly pertaining to the tax sale. We're out expenses, you know, the clerk's office handles that now, and have for 8 years. And would like to be able to turn some of those invoices in against some of that. It won't be probably $8,000, $9,000 at the most.
All right, do you need a motion to that?
To
effect?
accept it, to accept the settlement, yes.
I'll make that motion.
Andy made it, Stanley seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, the grant that was applied for, about, for the animal shelter for spaying and neutering, dogs, did we get acceptance of that? them
Yes,
somewhere?
yes. And it's a 50/50 grant. This is for $1,000 and our obligation would be $1,000.
All right, and have we already done that in the past, or do we just need to do it now?
We
Is that
agreed
next
to
one?
apply for it, we need to agree to match.
Yeah, this is actually the grant itself.
Okay.
We've been approved for it, so we just need to
right.
accept the grant
So moved.
All right,
Second.
John then will procure that.
Can that be used for cats or dogs only?
Dogs.
Will it be for just strays, or can someone go down to the vet and say, okay, I need my dog?
I'm not sure. Beth has been working with Kathy on this, so I'm not
We
sure.
don't know if it's
I'll
just
have
for
to look.
strays or anyone that needs it.
I don't know.
I found out this week that down at Paris, they'll take cats. There's a couple of people that needed to get rid of some cats, and they consulted with Paris Animal Shelter, and they will take cats, but you have to take them to them and pay fees. And I'm sure there's plenty of them around the town here that could be, and I guess out in the county too, but there are plenty of cats. No shortage of them.
We need to vote on that.
Make a motion.
Yeah, we,
Got a motion and a
We've already
second.
got it, okay.
yeah.
Aye.
All right. We had discussed buying this equipment from the water district. Did you get to check the minutes on the last discussion we had on it?
The last discussion was, it was not clear. There was not a decision made.
Okay.
It was to go back with a counteroffer.
I think the last thing I read in the minutes was in March of last year, and we had offered $35,000, but we didn't get a rebuttal from Water District, I don't think. Did they ever decide whether that they would take the 35 or not?
It was 42. You all
Okay.
offered, we want 45, you all offered 35, and last I heard, that everybody agreed on 42.
Well, I couldn't find,
I think that's what we done. In that meeting after we offered 35, we come back and they said, I think we agreed on 42,000.
split the difference with,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't find it in the minutes, I found the 35, but I didn't find anything beyond that. But it's just three pieces, equipment, truck and a trailer and a backhoe.
And the use of Steve Pilfrey when we need him.
Did you hear that, Steve?
Yeah.
He's obligating you here to use that stuff for us.
Yeah, he gets the money. That's what we agreed on.
No, that's what they sent me down here for, to tell you all that we're ready to accept the money we're gonna start. We've looked at some excavators, small ones.
Well, I think we've used it about more than the water district has, haven't we? Gary? Well,
So we need a motion.
do I hear a motion then that we go ahead with the 42.5 to offer the water district
I'll
for the
make that
equipment?
motion.
42,000?
42,000.
42.
42? Okay,
42.
42.
Give them an
All right.
extra
I'll
five.
make that motion.
Got a motion here.
All right. Anthony made it, okay?
Yeah.
Daniel second, all in favor?
Aye.
But I don't know about the clause that Steve going with it now.
I'll have Kyle, probably first of the week, get with Linda or Lindsay or whoever, bring the titles down. get them
Okay.
transferred.
We'll need an invoice
Yeah.
Yeah,
actually, that,
yeah, we need to get them on our insurance too.
Yeah.
So I'll need the information.
Well, looks like we've covered all the tracks. Play that for us today. Daniel, you can go have breakfast now.
I've done that for, I won't care to eat again.
Stanley's
Are you
mine.
buying?
If I get somebody to buy it.
Randy, you want me to date for today?
He said go ahead and write cash on it. and-
I wrote it yesterday.
Mr. Murphy, we're glad to have you with us this morning.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be anywhere this time of year, don't we?
Adjourn.
Motion we adjourn?
Second.
All right. All right.
So I got three.
Aye.